Hey, thanks for sticking around. I'm really glad you're here because today we're talking about something super important: how to protect your love from those sneaky mistakes that can ruin it. Relationships can be amazing, but they can also get a little tricky if you're not paying attention. These are the common mistakes that often creep up without us realizing, so let's talk about them and how to avoid them. 1. Taking each other for granted. When you're in a relationship for a while, it's easy to fall into a routine and stop appreciating each other. You stop doing the little things, like saying thank you, sending a sweet text, or just showing you care in small ways. But trust me, these little gestures make a huge difference. If you let them slip, it can feel like you're taking each other for granted. Over time, that can lead to distance and resentment. So, always make sure to show your partner you appreciate them, even in the smallest ways. 2. Not communicating enough. This one is huge. Communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. And by communication, I mean being honest about your feelings, good and bad. It's easy to avoid tough conversations because you don't want to upset the other person, but bottling up feelings can cause problems later on. When you don't communicate, you start assuming things, and that leads to misunderstandings. Make sure you're checking in with each other regularly, not just about the big stuff, but the small stuff too. It keeps the bond strong and prevents feelings from getting ignored. 3. Letting jealousy take over. A little jealousy here and there is totally normal, but when it takes over, it can destroy a relationship. Jealousy makes you doubt your partner, and that's when trust starts to break down. Trust is everything in love. So when jealousy creeps in, it's important to talk about it openly. If you're feeling insecure, don't hide it. Share how you're feeling and work through it together. Trusting each other and keeping things transparent is key to keeping the relationship healthy. 4. Losing yourself in the relationship. One of the biggest traps people fall into is losing themselves in the relationship. It's so easy to get wrapped up in your partner's life, but don't forget that you need to keep nurturing yourself too. Pursue your own passions, maintain your friendships, and make time for the things that make you happy. Love is about supporting each other while still being individuals. If you forget who you are, you can start to feel disconnected from your partner, and that's not good for anyone. Always make time for yourself, even when you're deeply in love. 5. Avoiding conflict. Nobody likes arguments, right? But avoiding conflict isn't the solution. It just makes things worse in the long run. Every relationship will have its ups and downs, and disagreements are part of the deal. The key is how you handle them. Avoiding tough conversations or sweeping problems under the rug only lets them build up until they explode. Healthy conflict resolution is about listening to each other, staying calm, and working together to find a solution. Disagreements can actually bring you closer if you handle them right. 6. Failing to grow together. As individuals, we're always changing, and so should the relationship. If you're not growing together, you might find by trying new things together, sharing your dreams and supporting each other's personal growth. It doesn't mean you have to be exactly the same, but it's essential that you're both growing in a way that keeps you connected. So take the time to check in with each other about your goals and where you're headed as a couple. Growth should be something you're doing together. 7. Taking love for granted. Finally, don't take love for granted. It's easy to think that love will just keep going strong on its own, but it requires continuous effort. You've got to put in the work. Keep dating each other, even when you're in a committed relationship. Do the things that brought you together in the first place. Show appreciation, laugh together, share new experiences. Keep the spark alive, because it's the everyday moments that keep the love alive. Never stop showing your partner that they matter. Final thoughts. Love can be the most amazing thing, but it takes attention and effort to keep it strong. If you can avoid these common mistakes, like taking each other for granted, not communicating enough, letting jealousy take over, and not growing together, you'll be setting your relationship up for success. Relationships aren't perfect, but if you're committed to each other and put in the effort, you can weather any storm. So thanks again for sticking around. I hope this gave you something to think about, and remember, small efforts lead to big rewards in love. Stay awesome and keep that love strong.